Afternoon, Bobcats. Mr. Flato here. Welcome back to what I hope will be a fantastic week for you here at the Helena Middle School. On this week's B.O.B Lesson, going to talk about something that unfortunately is a guarantee in life. Unfortunately, we cannot escape this. This is hard times. As human beings, we're going to be faced by trials and tribulations, difficult times that are going to test us as human beings. As life goes on and as your years continue, life has more demands to it. Life has more challenges to it. Life, unfortunately, probably has more stress to it. You're busier as a human being, and it's going to test you more and more. What I'm going to talk about today's B.O.B lesson is the very importance of developing grit and perseverance and how we do those things. Developing perseverance and grit, we're going to have to persevere through the hard times. We're going to have to develop a greediness to us where when the waves of life hit us and smack us in the face, we do not quit, because they will hit you in the face from time to time. So let's get rock and roll in this B.O.B lesson. Hope you guys go out and make it the best week you can here at the Helena Middle School. All right, this week's B.O.B lesson is going to be titled Introduction to Perseverance and Grit, two very important things in life. But first, let's be our best at HMS this week. Let's be safe, let's be responsible, let's be respectful, and let's be a learner.
Bobcats, Mr. Flato here. On vacation, not going to tell you where quite yet, but making a video for a B.O.B lesson. It's June 25th, 2016, and I am getting a big time hike in right now because I care about my physical fitness. Shout out to Mr. Knox, Mr. Semensky, Miss Charbonneau. As you can see, I'm on this hike right now, and today I want to talk about perseverance. I want to talk about grit. It's just on my mind right now, so I thought I'd make a video. I'm not gonna lie, I'm on an 1,100 step hike right now. I'll show you where at the end of the video, and I feel like quitting. I'm sweating, I'm tired, having a hard time catching my breath. But this really represents life to me, because in life, you're always gonna have obstacles. You're always going to have things that you have to overcome. There are going to be times when you're going to want to convince yourself to give up, to convince yourself that the next step you have to take is too hard, it's too tough. And what that next step might look like for some of you may be different. Maybe it's not coming from the greatest home life. Maybe it's struggling with a school subject. Maybe it's struggling with relationships, with friendships, whatever it may be. I like doing things like this because I like to test myself. I like to get pushed to that point where I am right now, when my legs are saying stop, can't go on any further. My legs are telling me, my lungs are telling me, can't keep going. But you know what? You got to keep going in life. You got to keep pushing fear, pushing through. You got to push through the uncomfortableness in life, push through those situations when you feel you want to stop. With my buddy on vacation right now, he's the one that inspired me this morning. Get up and do this hike. Anyways, I don't know when this B.O.B lesson is going to come out, but it will be sometime soon, because I feel like we need to get a little bit tougher. We need to work at persevering a little bit more. We need to work at developing grit. So I'm going to sign off on this, and I'll see you guys at the top. Woo! Look at this grind. We're almost there, though. Almost there. Keep pushing forward. All right, Bobcats, I am back, and I made it. And I gained a couple valuable lessons by pushing through there. Number one, I proved to myself that I can push through adverse or less than ideal situations when they're presented. Yes, I wanted to quit. My lungs told me to quit. My legs told me to quit, but I didn't. And in the process, I built up some emotional, mental, and physical toughness. And that's what grit is all about, is building up those three characteristics, because as these waves come in off the ocean, troublesome or troublesome adverse situations will come into your life. Not only is my reward physical, mental, and emotional toughness, but now I get to take in this view of Coco Head Mountain in Honolulu, Hawaii, the beautiful Pacific Ocean. If I would have quit halfway up or anywhere along those 1,100 plus steps, I wouldn't be taking in this reward right now. Hope you guys like this video.
All right, I hope you guys like that B.O.B lesson. Wow, that was a tough hike, and I'm glad I was able to do it. And there's no way I could do it without these two things. The first is called perseverance. And I thought maybe going over definitions of exactly what I'm talking about would help put everything in perspective and help tie it together. So to persevere is to persist in anything undertaken, whether it's school, whether it's a job, whether it's a homework assignment, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a steep hike, to persist in anything undertaken, maintain a purpose in spite of difficulty. And that's what I talked about in the opening intro, is there is guaranteed to be difficulties in your life. That is a non-negotiable. It is going to happen no matter what steps you take to not have difficult things happen to you in life. Obstacles are going to happen. Discouraging things are going to happen. And when you persevere, you continue steadfastly through all those things. Now, this definition, grit, is very much the same. Grit is defined as firmness of mind or spirit, unyielding courage in the face of hardship or danger. And what we want to develop more, and I got a B.O.B lesson coming up, is talking about how we go through life and we develop more grit when we go through tough situations that require perseverance and grit, and we make it through, like doing that super steep hike where people were getting almost to the top and quitting. It was crazy. When you do that and you persevere through it, any hard situation in life, you develop more and more grit. And as you develop more and more grit, those waves or those things that come at you in life, those difficult situations, they become less and less difficult. All right, this week's quote of the week is by Mr. Thomas Edison himself, and it said, "Many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up." All right, that brings us to this week's Jellybean question of the week answers, who are Jasmine Rose, Joseph Rose, Kylie Gardapi, Titan Russell, and Natalie Baez Cruz. The answer to last week's question, I would have accepted either "Are you asleep?" or "Are you dead?" This week's Jellybean question of the week is 2 in a corner, 1 in a room, 0 in a house, but 1 in a shelter. What am I? If you think you know, submit your answer to the B.O.B box no later than Friday. Check out next week's B.O.B lesson to see if you are a winner. All right, Bobcats, let's go out and make it a great week at the Helena Middle School.